Hey, look at you guys.
Oh,
Hi.
Hey,
How do we look up from that side of the screen?
really clear, actually. Looks really
Really?
good.
Good.
Yeah,
Are you
too
still
clear.
stuck? Are you still stuck in Boston? Is that why you had to be remote from the
Oh,
blizzard?
no, I haven't been feeling good.
She's
So
protecting us.
I'm
Feel better soon.
in my house slash germ factory.
really?
How was Boston? Was it good?
It was really nice. It was so cold though, too. Oh, it was insane. But I got to catch up with some folks in Amherst I hadn't seen in a long time. So it's nice.
That's good. Okay, well, it is 5 o'clock. And so we shall start our meeting. So we'll call ourselves to order. So to review the agenda, we are going to have public comment first. And then approve meeting minutes from July, July, January 20th, sorry. My brain hoping that it was warmer, July.
Yeah, really?
And at 4 o'clock, and then the same day, 1:20 at 5 p.m. to approve the appointment of Devin Pelletier as chief of police, do a fire department check-in with Chief Zawaka, review and approve volunteer liability waiver policy and handbook, review and grant permission for Valley players to use the forest trails and clearings at lot 032 behind the library. Review the 10-3 October 3rd open meeting law complaint determination and take the necessary actions, and review the January 6th, 2026 open law meeting complaint filed on 1/27/26. Then our town administrator report. I think, Eric, if it's okay with you, I'd like to review the October 3rd open meeting law complaint right before approve of appointment of Devin Pelletier because they're somewhat related. I'm sorry, 1/6, 1/6.
Sure, no, whatever you want to do.
And then, okay,
The only thing I was gonna say is we might want to do Mateo earlier too, because he's here,
okay.
unless he really wants to.
Mateo, does that work for you?
Oh,
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, so if that's set, we'll open it.
Can I say one other thing?
Yes, you can, sir.
Yeah, Steve Dalmas from the building committee asked me to, put one of the options is to try to rebuild the porch for the MN Spear Library. It has some CPA funding available for it potentially. He would like us to endorse that notion,
Okay,
so.
all right.
I'll just-
So when do we have to do that by?
I mean, well, I said we'd do it today, but well, you know what, I mean, we try to do it today, but I said, I don't know, I didn't really know it was on the agenda, so. What, if not this one, I guess the next meeting would be fine.
So why don't we can at least chat about it, and then if
Yeah, yeah.
Ray letter, we can sign for the next one.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Okay,
As unexpected.
Huh?
All right, and any public comment in the room or online, please use your raised hand feature in both areas.
Just one
Okay,
second,
we have-
please.
We have one, go ahead, Matteo.
Just to the point about the CPA timing, February 9th is the deadline for the grant application for.
That's why he went, he was so hot to do it. I don't think he mentioned that to me, but he was really hot to get it on the agenda.
Makes it easier to unexpected though. Thank you for the date. Yeah, thank you. Okay, any other hands raised? I can't see the full screen there, Haley, and I don't.
You've
know.
got Tom has his hand raised.
Okay. Tom.
Hi, thanks. I had sent you an email earlier today, and I'm sorry I came in like 2 minutes late to the meeting. I don't know if you discussed it already. You'll be going over my open meeting law complaint in the meeting. I'm in Northampton. I'm trying to get there in person. I don't know whether to just stay on Zoom or come in person. Do you know whether you'll get to it after 5:45, or I don't know if I heard it, if you're postponing it or what?
No, we're not postponing it. In fact, we moved it up in the meeting. Sorry, no,
Oh.
it's at the end of the meeting. I'm sorry. We've got two we're doing. So if you want to hang on Zoom, we're just going to go with the flow of the meeting. So we can't really give you a time. That will.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, well, please just know I want to send my regrets for not being there in person because I really wished to have the chance to be there while you discuss it. So,
We-
my regrets that I can't be there, but that's
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. We appreciate that.
Sure.
Okay, any other public comments? No? No?
Not that I can see.
No, okay. All right, so moving on to approving the minutes from January 20th, 2026 at 4 p.m. Right,
So moved.
okay, and I'll second that. All in favor, oh, sorry. So, do we have corrections or discussion with them?
No, I didn't find any mistakes. I did find one with that was out of place somewhere, but it doesn't. Work. Then I couldn't find it, so. Go. I'd say
Go
it's
for it.
good to
Okay.
go.
All in favor of approving the minutes from January 20th, 2026?
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. And do I hear a motion to approve the minutes from January 20th, 2026 at 5 p.m.?
So moved.
Okay, I'll second that. Any edits or corrections? I didn't see any in there.
No,
All those in favor?
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. Okay. So right before, so we moved this agenda item up was to review the open meeting law complaint that was for June. I really need to get my months straight. January 6th, 2026. Bear with me a moment. So this was an open law meeting complaint, filed by Amanda Alex for our meeting,
On
Oh,
January
that's-
May
6th.
6th. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
seeing something that
It's okay. So that was partially on me. I didn't fully understand what is in the open meeting law. So I had done reason 8 and Miss Alex was correct. We ought not to have done any executive session on that day. So what I in conjunction with our select board chair have drafted is just a letter that says, there was a misunderstanding in its application and that we will release the minutes as soon as feasible, as soon as we can get a meeting together. And that we would discuss the candidates in an open session and then make another formal vote to appoint Mr. Pelletier.
and that's what we're also doing as our next agenda item. So but the only one thing, Haley, I'm looking at the letter, my last name is spelled incorrectly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's an A,
Should have
right?
been an easy one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I won't sign it tonight. We can sign it tomorrow. So this is, as Haley said, that we would be doing, discussing again, the appointment of Devin to the police chief, and voting, again on that, and then, just acknowledging that we had put the wrong executive session. recent there. So, do I hear a motion to, once corrected, sign the letter for the open law meeting complaint dated January 27th, 2026?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. So then we move on to the next agenda item, which is to approve the appointment of Devin Pelletier for police chief. So what we want to do is, in this case, is we will share why we had chosen Devin as our appointee out of our determination from our interviews. And then revote
Right.
his appointment. I'll ask for that at the end. So the select board on the 6th interviewed both people, Devin Pelletier and Ben Peters. And we think lengthy interview, great, both were great candidates. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong in this summary, Eric, we had found Devin to be the candidate that best fit what we were looking for in a police chief. His experience outside of the police realm as project manager, and his other experience added to his police experience, and as well as the outpouring of letters of recommendation from the public as well. His strong suit in budgeting and his complete understanding of community policing, the way he thinks of Shutesbury as a work home that he feels connected to the residents, had great plans for the police department, future employment with the police department himself, but also looking forward to building a strong police department for some of the things that we pulled out of the interview. Was there anything you wanted to add to that?
That's certainly a good summary. That's fine. He's a nice guy.
And he's not. And to be honest, he also had been doing the job for several months.
Right, exactly. That was,
That's out in terms, so that was also a benefit. Ben Peters was a great candidate, had great experience, wonderful experience with the Leverett Police Department, was very well-rounded police officer too. So we also thank him for his participation in our interview process.
yes.
So with that, do I hear a motion to appoint Devin Pelletier as our police chief effective January 6th, 2026?
So moved.
Second that. All those in favor?
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. Thank you, Devin,
Thank
for
you.
helping us correct that. We appreciate that. So our next item, it is the fire department check-in. Come on up, Lenny. Or Chief Zawonka to make things official.
Yeah. I'm Lenny Zerwalka, Shutesbury Fire Chief.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Emergency Management Director.
So give us an overview of what's going on. How are you doing down there?
Oh, we're doing okay. We had 10 calls this year. 7 medical, 1 CO alarm sounding, 1 smell of smoke in a building for mutual aid. We also had an animal rescue. So that's what we had for calls for
What animal?
a horse. So that was for this year. Let's see, we have 8 members on the department, including myself, including a new firefighter that was just sworn in by the town clerk last week. So I'm really happy about her, the candidate.
Mhm.
Possibly we might have one more person interested in joining. So they've been hanging out at the station and asking good questions. So that's,
What would your ideal staffing level be?
it would be really nice to have like 12 or 13 people on. But we know we've had that in the past, but when we've had that many people, a lot of the people weren't very active members. So it's I feel really happy with everybody on the department now. Everybody's a pretty active member. Pretty much every member goes on calls regularly. So it's not like some places it's kind of like you have 2 different departments. The the department that makes all the calls and the department that just has it for the, just to get the shirt pretty much. So I'm really happy that we don't have that here. Everybody's pretty active on
Yeah.
calls. So, I'm really happy about that. So I would pick these members more than having more and half of them not show up. So it's that. Get prices for replacing engine two. Engine two is 1996. So the engine, it's been a great truck. It just has a lot of, time on it. It's a long time for the pump to be underwater for, getting close to 30 years. So I've been getting prices on that. Should probably submit something soon to the capital planning committee. The prices were between low 700s for something that the dealer has in stock to like a custom build would be about 930, 950,000. So yeah, fire trucks are a lot of money. The one the department kind of likes would be something around 775-ish with 2,000 gallons instead of 1,000 gallons. So more water to me is better. We do have some sacrifices on that with it being a little bit bigger truck and a little less cabinet space, but I think having more water is more important. So yeah.
What kind of training are you guys continuing with your Thursday trainings?
So Thursday trainings, we spent a week in New Salem a couple weeks ago for forcible entry. New Salem has on loan to them a door prop, so spent all night. Force it open and force it open, break the 2x4 and put another 2x4 in and let the next person practice opening. So, I am personally doing, additional training just for the one-on-one training with the new firefighter, just going over basics. So the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna let the officers run training. Most likely they're gonna be doing driver training for next week. So yeah,
On the emergency management side, their emergency, director side?
let's see, we're gonna have emergency management meeting hopefully next Monday. I gotta get agenda together on that. We had the town hall open for 2 days for last snowstorm. So we had a firefighter here. Nobody showed up, but it is what it is. I didn't want to open it when the roads are really bad because I think it's better for people to stay at home. I think everybody's opinion's different on what you should do for a warming center, but to me, I think it's best for the day after the storm when the roads are better, it's safer to travel. And if there is major power outages, it will be open. Asking people to, drive down the roads when the roads are the worst, I think is not the best, advice. So, yeah, we had that. As for the dam, I'm not too sure on the dam repair, but I've been going there once to twice a day, checking on the level. And Howie's having me going up and down on the gate a little bit, so he doesn't have to walk out on the dam.
Right.
So I call him up, he tells me what he wants me to do, and I turn the handle left or right, and he puts it in his book, so he can operate the dam from inside his house.
And there's a healthy layer of ice on that lake.
Yes, yep,
I haven't seen it in a few years.
yeah, totally. So, yeah,
Eric, did you have any questions?
No, I think that, no.
Well, thank you, Emma, for coming.
yeah, what else? Pancake breakfast, March 14th.
That's perfect.
We're gonna start marking out the signs and putting them out. And it's gonna be at the elementary school,
What time is that?
8:30 in the morning to probably like 10:30.
Okay.
March 14th, okay.
Yep. As for engine two, we've also, I've looked into getting, rebuild prices, because I know some people still want to rebuild the truck. It's still like $400,000 to $500,000, and there's really 1 year warranty
Yeah, I
and,
was gonna ask
you
what
know,
She's coming.
yeah, there's not much warranties that come from it. A rebuilt engine, a rebuilt transmission, a rebuilt pump, and still the same wiring harness and no pain. It's like, I think it's kind of good money after bad. So, yeah.
What's your timing on that proposed engine? This year, next year?
I'd have to talk to the capital planning.
Yeah.
If I order one right now, it's gonna be the truck that we could get a truck probably within a couple months, but it wouldn't be the one we'd want. So the one we'd more want would be about the same price, but it'll be a 14-month wait period. So again, these things take time, obviously. I mean, you can get a truck off right off the lot that are kind of spec built. And most of those trucks have a lot of cabinet space. They're kind of a lot bigger. They're more set up for cities. And, it'll be kind of a disappointment to get something like that that's not really suitable for Shutesbury's need. So,
I remember with the last fire truck we got, the size and fitting inside the building we had was.
Yeah,
there
that's
was a
an issue.
difficulty there.
yeah, I was talking to one salesman and I was just like, I gotta have it as short as possible. And he's like, keeps showing me the truck that's like bigger than engine one. And it only has 1,000 gallons and I can't even put a dump tank on it. And he's telling me, he's like, why I don't need a dump tank. I'm like, no, like we need a dump tank, like a regular fire department from the city needs a fire hydrant. No, I'm not gonna get that's a deal breaker. And he just keeps on going back, well, you don't need it. I'm like, no, that's crazy talk. So, but yeah,
Keep pushing.
yeah, totally. So, yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
yep, I don't see
Appreciate the
anybody's
check-in.
hand on the screen, so
Yeah.
out of the woods.
One down, several to go.
Yeah, totally. So,
Thank you very much.
all right, yeah,
Appreciate
you're all
it.
set.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Hey, well, take care.
Thank you. You too.
Yep.
Enjoy your evening. The next is to review and approve the volunteer liability waiver and policy. Policy and handbook. And I don't think these need signatures, right, Haley?
No, just an
Okay.
approval.
Yeah, okay.
Brennan was nice enough to clean that up for me today.
Oh, good. Thank you, Brennan. All right, so, we looked at these the last time in our last meeting and had suggestions for Haley, to incorporate and to clarify, which I believe she did. When I read through them, do you have any, corrections or edits before we decide to vote on these, Eric?
No, I'd say go. Almost start.
So let's do the first one first. Do I hear a motion to approve the Town of Shrewsbury volunteer liability waiver policy?
So move.
Okay. I'll second that. All those in favor?
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. And second, do I hear a motion to approve the Town of Shrewsbury volunteer handbook?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Stalker, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye. Okay, that's great. Okay, Mateo, we are going to review and approve the grant permission for the Valley Players to use the forest trails at lot 030 parcel 032 behind the library as a venue for Valiant Youth Summer Shakespeare Camp. So we received a request from the Valley Players through Mateo Pangallo, who's their president, to use the property, the woods and the clearings for their program. It is a Shakespeare camp for 2 weeks that will introduce students to theatrical approach to Shakespeare's plays. Mateo, would you like to come forward and give us a summary for the public who wasn't included on our communications? Excuse my computer.
So Valley Players it's a 501c3 nonprofit incorporated here in Shutesbury, actually. We are this year in year 3 of our operations. We are a community theater group. the aim of using community theater to help build community. So we do, we have been doing about 2 plays a year or 3 plays a year, and then 2 or 3 smaller things a year. The core part of the mission is donating half of our ticket sales to another nonprofit in the Valley that has a mission that aligns with the themes of the play or the story of the play. This is a little bit different. This is not a production. This is sort of a, as you mentioned, a 2-week outdoor exploration of performance approaches to Shakespeare, geared for students ages 12 to 16, which would run June 22nd to July 2nd. Yes, so
Okay.
that's the gist.
All right, and I believe the police, fire have, and Board of Health, I think, have already said that was okay. I know Mary Ann had said.
Yes,
It was
so
okay.
I did meet with them and they signed off on the form, and the idea with the library is it would be a fallback space in the event of inclement weather. But ideally it's better to have the kids outside if we can be outside.
Right, yeah, no, first one. Okay, do you have any questions?
Is there any liability for the town, like, someone, I think I remember a liability policy.
Sure. So there's on the registration form that caregivers need to fill out. There's an accident waiver and release of liability. And I have sent this to Donna to look at as well, just to make sure it was okay, because it does include Valley Players, the Shutesbury Public Library, and the town of Shutesbury. Also, in the liability insurance policy that we have, the town of Shutesbury is a named insured, as we could get that as well for, as is the library.
Okay.
All right, great.
Oh, you have a safety plan, perfect.
Yeah, and so that's something
Yeah.
that when I met with Devin and Lenny, they said they'd like to have some kind of just brief formal write-up about what the plan is in different, in different incidents, if things come up. And so I sort of mapped out potential issues that might arise. We will have a medical kit on hand, an EpiPen, and some other allergy
Oh, yeah.
supplies. Typically kids who have known allergies often travel with their own stuff, but it's best to have it just in case.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So this is actually setting the stage. We've never had anything quite like this in town, so all the forces setting the stage for the future ones too.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Appreciate that, Mateo. I think this is great. I have no issues with supporting,
No, I think it's fantastic.
so we need to vote now. Do you want to make a motion?
I move that we approve and grant permission to the Valley Players to use the forest trails and clearings at lot 032.
I'll second that. All those in favor,
Stalker eye.
make peace on the line. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Oh, yes, I probably should sign. We just make sure Caitlin gets a copy.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Great.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So now, to review the open meeting law complaint and determinations, on October 10th, 2003. This was an open meeting law complaint that we had. It was a result of a open records request in which there was an email that was discovered to have violated the open meeting law complaints, and then was immediately recognized that that had done that. So we had, but the AG's office had determined that we have to go forward and acknowledge that it had happened and to read the email chain in person. Hello. To
Hey.
email the chain in person at our meeting and to place it in our minutes, and let me just read the exact thing. It's reading the content during the meeting and listing the emails in the meeting minutes. So Brennan is on that, so he'll make sure we do that. But I said that I would read the email to comply with the Attorney General's determination. And then we'll vote to sign this letter that is drafted. Do we have to sign a letter, Haley?
No, the AG's office only said that the emails need to be released in their entirety
Okay.
and just recorded in the minutes.
Okay.
So there's no mention of having
There's
to
no,
do
a
that.
letter. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll read and then we'll.
And Tom
Put
has
it
his
in the
hand up if you can't
Oh,
read the
yes,
screen.
Tom, I can see him now. Before it was not clear. Here's a copy for you, Eric. I'll read it.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thanks. Are you going to offer me an opportunity to speak after you read the email aloud?
We can determine that. Eric, would we, let us read it first and then we'll go with that formal process after. We have to get our
Thank
process.
you. I would appreciate being able to talk after you read it aloud.
So bear with me because it's an email chain, so I have to go up backwards. So on June 4th, the select board received an email that stated let me just make sure that's first one. That said, dear select board, yesterday's events are causing me unfair and painful emotional distress. I did not sleep well, if at all, and woke up very early. Frank told me last night before bed that he was emotionally distressed as a result of yesterday's events too. We both feel under unfair heightened scrutiny and ostracized as a result of the retaliatory efforts against me as we discovered yesterday. Please help us if you can, signed Tom.
Excuse me, that
There
was from Tom Seifert, Melissa. You're not including the names of the people who wrote.
I'm reading the email verbatim as it's listed here.
You're not reading who sent it.
Okay, this gives it says Tom S. with the Jackson 5-star 2000 email address.
It's Tom Seifert, Melissa. Please name me.
Okay, Tom
Please
Seifert.
don't ignore my name.
It said to read the email verbatim, and this is what I'm doing from the page that's in front of me, Tom. So then at June 5th, there was a reply that says, good morning, Eric, Rita, and Melissa. Please know that I am still feeling emotionally distressed as a result of the retaliation efforts that Mark Rivers sponsors against me. Frank also remains very upset. We both feel ostracized. Yours, Tom. That's also listed from an address, Tom S., which is Tom Seifert, Jackson 5-star. And then again at 8:04 on June 5th, 2025, the select board, town administrator, and Frank McGinn received an email. We both still feel ostracized. There was a typo in the email sent at 8:03. Then we follow the chain. Thursday, June 5th at 11:10, our town administrator sent an email to the select board asking us to reply individually. We want to send a response. Do we want to send a response? I could keep it brief and say that we've received his email. And I've asked Mark Rivers if he's open to mediation session to facilitate a conversation between committee members, may offer some self-help resources. Beth Haley, town administrator. Later that evening at 6:14, June 5th, Eric Stocker replied, hi, hey Haley, hope you're all have, sorry, hope you're well and have recovered from the lengthy ATM, annual town meeting. I have to admit that I am confused by this one. I guess that my biggest concern is that we are sure there's no reason not to appoint Tom that are based on racism, homophobia, etc. Having said that, I think there are some legitimate reasons for a committee to not want Tom on it. He has proven several times that he is not a good team player. For example, it seems a little odd that he can run against Melissa for select board, disparage Mark Rivers and his wife, among other things, and expect to have no consequences from these actions when it comes to getting appointed to committees. Not sure where we go on this one. By the way, I'm planning to Zoom for 6/17 SB meeting E. So that was a reply, that in which is where the reply to all happened. Exactly 2 minutes later, Eric replied, looks like I replied to all in error. So this is the one email based on a records request that was determined an open meeting law violation because of the reply to all. And the AG's office has just asked us to do this process, which we've just done. So, but the select board does admit that, or I do anyway, in the world of email, it's very easy to make the mistake of hitting reply all when you think you hit reply all. So I do want to acknowledge that there is a human nature to our work that sometimes, this happens in all work with email. Eric, did you want to make any comment before we?
No, just that I would apologize for that you met that error. But I would just say that we get lots and lots of emails. So it is very easy to make some slip up like that, which I would be the first to admit it was made.
And Haley's gone through some process to make sure that we're not able to do that when we all get an email from her.
Right.
Able to help us not to do that in the future. So we're good. Shall we have Tom weigh in on this?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Tom.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate that you read it out loud. I appreciate that you acknowledged it was a violation to send the email out to everybody. I would appreciate knowing if Eric has a take on the contents of the email and whether there's any necessity to give some sort of explanation for the allegations in his email, all of which, by the way, I vehemently deny as being untrue and unfounded. Eric, do you have any explanation
No,
for what you
I'm not
wrote?
going to get into a back and
We're
forth.
just doing the open
It's, not
complaint.
going to
process.
happen.
So we're not gonna know. And I do apologize for not reading your name, Tom. The headers were missing when Google does a chain. It takes out the headers of exactly who they're from and everything. So I do apologize for that.
Okay, may I speak a little more? As you noted, you read it aloud yourself, and it is actually still true today, over 6 months later, that it hurt a lot to read the unfounded and untrue claims that Eric wrote. And I think that the people in town deserve a process, and the municipal employees in town deserve a process for what to do if they feel as though a select board member has acted inappropriately. And I'm not aware of any complaint process for that. The only complaint I was able to make was the open meeting law complaint, but besides the complaint about deliberating outside of open session, I would say that I have a complaint as well for having been potentially defamed by Eric Stalker.
If you would like to put that in a different type of complaint to the select board, but we're not going to discuss it here. We will move on to our next item. Tom?
Well, I would like to continue to ask what his message means about people participating in the democratic process. And I would like to ask whether that type of messaging.
You can ask and we will address it in a different way. We're not doing that in our meeting tonight. This was about an open meeting law complaint that we have handled. So we will be moving on.
Well, the open meeting law is there to fortify open and transparent government. And this type of messaging suppresses democratic activity. So I do feel as though discussing the content of the email is not inappropriate during this session.
Well,
and I would very much appreciate it.
No, we're not going to do this, Tom. I will have you muted. we will, if you would like us to handle that in a way that's appropriate in that way, then you
said
can
I was
send us
allowed to
an
speak,
email and a
Melissa.
formal complaint about that, but we're not going to discuss that here tonight.
Melissa, you
We're
said I
doing
could
the
speak,
open
so I
meeting
just
law
want to speak
complaint.
for another 10 or
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Guys, can I interject just really quickly? So the select board does have a right to set the agenda, Tom. I think you know that. Maybe I'm happy to look at other towns and see what they do for when citizens have a complaint against a board or a body, and then I can take that back to the next public meeting. You know, I feel like if we have this conversation right now, we're gonna get into the weeds. I don't know how productive it
I
is.
don't mean to get into the details of the conversation. I mean to point out the questions that this scenario has raised and to let you know that I want to ask these questions out loud. And I don't intend to have the discussion tonight, but I think it's really important that these points are made, that this was a potentially defamatory email that could cause liability for the town. It creates the question about whether select board members are suppressing democratic activity in the public. And it probably deserves an apology. And I wanted to make
That
those
apology was
points.
given to you, Tom. I said I was sorry. I am sorry.
You said
There
you were
was
sorry for
nothing meant, there
making
was
the
nothing
error of
malicious
sending the
by what I
email.
wrote here.
Pardon me?
There's nothing malicious by what I wrote here. I mean, it's the facts.
I
And I
find
just was saying, and
those
I
are
said I
not
was
facts, Eric.
confused by,
Look, like I said, the
I'm
select
not gonna
board
get
does
into
have
it.
the right to do this, and they don't have to take public comment during their meeting, Tom. I think we can find a way to do this. You know, you can make your points. You know, I'm happy if you want, you can read them at the next meeting. You can send them to me. You know, I take those things seriously. But, you know, they do have a right to continue with the course of their meeting. So I think if you have questions you want to ask, you should say that and then just allow the board to continue their meeting.
Thank you. I guess I can only stress how hurt I am and disappointed in the operation of the select board in this matter.
Okay, Tom. Okay. Moving on was the next thing was your town administrator report. Thank you.
Oh, we're already there.
We are.
So I just scribbled some notes because I typically write this yesterday, but I was not in any position to write anything yesterday. So I can touch a little bit upon the dam, like Lenny had alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
So we're looking for contractors. That's the next thing that has to happen with the repairs. And then once we find the contractor, the work can begin. I did check in with Mateo. We cannot use CPA funds because we're incurring the expenses in this fiscal year. So we're not able to apply for a round of funding from that. So our next best bet is to go after whatever grant opportunities we can. And, you know, assuming we're not able to accomplish that goal, we would then be going to annual town meeting and asking for, you know, an appropriation, you know, out of reserves or free cash to backfill what we've spent. So not a great deal of updates, but it is important to note that we cannot pursue the CPA funding like we had hoped we could do. Let me see. The budget process is well underway. I think the FinCom has met with just about every department right now. So they've gotten all that feedback. Capital requests were due yesterday. Capital planning is meeting Thursday to go over their initial request. So we'll be able to add that to the conversation a little bit later. You know, I think it's going to be interesting to see what plays out with the regional school. So they, you know, they had anticipated initially like a 9.5% increase. We've heard from Pelham that that's not going to be sustainable, and at some point, maybe they have to close their elementary school, but maybe not. So I think in terms of the regional budget, is really going to come down to what the other towns can bear in terms of what gets allowed. And I am working with the FERCog and a number of other communities. I think there's like, I want to say like 12 or 14 of us at least who are interested in looking at, you know, eventually 2027 in April, all communities have to have like certain certain changes to their website to be ADA compliant. And so there's an information session for COG, and they're looking at exploring some grants to help communities make those changes. So I'm going to be a part of that. Yeah, I don't know. I was at the MMA conference, which was really great. They did actually have to go back to an earlier select board meeting. They did have a workshop on AI and how their communities are using it, which is really similar to what I'm doing. So I think that's kind of like they didn't come out and endorse it, but I think that's kind of like an implicit understanding that a lot of people are moving that way. And yeah, sorry. After being sick, my
That's okay.
brain's a little fried.
No, that's
But
fine.
if you have questions on anything, I can definitely take them or at least get you an answer later.
I think the dam was my only question, the ongoing piece. I don't think there was any, I didn't have any other questions about it.
No, the dam was my question too. What?
On the poll hearing that we did the last time, we left it open. We were gonna have the Concom look at the area, which I realize now
Yes.
is under 2 feet of snow.
Right.
Yeah.
Or more.
makes it
If it's
hard.
next to the road, it's probably under now 8 feet of snow. So, just to keep that on our radar for whenever, probably hard for them to see anything right now anyway, so.
Yeah. I think so. But
Um,
I think
the
it's gonna
unex-
stay cold.
yeah,
That
and
won't
the
help.
unexpected business, Eric, of, I just put my thing away, the MM Spear porch.
Right. I
So
guess,
what's up with the,
well, my sense is what happened is there was, I talked to Steve Dalmas the other day. He
Yeah.
talked to me from the building committee. Maybe Frank knows about it. I'm not sure really, but I believe what happened was the, building committee has looked at the porch on the MN Spear building. The determination has been made that whatever happens to that building, the porch is falling apart. So it has to
It's
get
not-
fixed.
it wasn't the main entrance.
And I believe that they, somehow there was a miscommunication or something. It did, the request from the building committee to the CPA got lost or misplaced or didn't happen or something. So now I think as Mateo's suggesting.
Yeah.
If something has to be done about that soon, because there are deadlines to apply for the CPA money.
Yeah,
And what they were looking for, what at least Steve said that they were looking for was, sort of an endorsement of the select board of that policy in other words, backing them up to say, yeah, good idea to rebuild the porch. Frank, you got any thoughts on that? Would you know anything about that? You're muted.
no, you're still muted. Nope. Not yet. Oh, I heard something. Try again?
Not working.
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
the porch.
Yeah, the porch, sorry about that. The button
okay.
was hidden. Yeah, the porch has been rotted and we looked at it 3 years ago plus when we did our evaluation, and it needs to be replaced. I don't know the exact dollar amounts. But I think it'd be good to do for the reuse committee to have the second egress done. So that's why Stephen's asking this, to have a viable second egress. The library never used the door other than for air. But if it's being repurposed, we'd like to have that porch rebuilt. So it'll be a legal second egress if they have so many people in the building.
Okay, I don't see an issue with,
No, I think we should.
Yeah.
I would make a motion that we endorse their proposal to do that, and we pass that word on to the CPA that we have done that.
okay,
Thank
so, Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Okay, so I will, I'll second that. And then we probably should do it by letter. Haley, do you and Brennan have a moment to draft something or, should it be one of us that, I mean, I don't mind putting together unless.
I
you
mean,
want to-
We can definitely do it and have it ready tomorrow if you're coming anyway so I can fix my spelling mistake.
Yeah. I'm, tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have to pick up nephew at 1 at school, so I'll swing by then.
Okay.
If that's okay. So
Yeah.
so all in favor,
Stalker eye.
make peace O'Neill, aye. I think it'd be great to get that. That's how we used to enter the library.
Yeah, well,
The library, yeah. The front door. Okay, perfect.
good. Thanks for working on that tonight.
Yeah, perfect. Was there anything else that we needed to cover? Okay, I think we're good. So do I hear somewhere in the distance a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Stalker eye.
Make peace O'Neill, aye. Haley, thank you, everybody.
Mhm.
Right.
See ya.
Bye.